Our last video covered how Schneider's dual light nanoparticle size tester uses dynamic light scattering for nanoemulsion, submicron, and nanoparticle size testing. But how do you interpret the results? This video will walk you through the datasheet, including your sample information, test conditions, and test results. After sample process, you'll receive a datasheet that looks something like this. Sample information and test information are entered before sample testing. Test conditions are also entered before testing. Test conditions include temperature, dispersion medium, its viscosity, and the medium's refractive index. The angle refers to the 90-degree angle from the photon entry point to the detection area. You can select a light color of either green or blue depending upon the size of your sample. The delay unit time is the length of time until the sample appears in the detection zone or sensor area. The ideal correlation curve is used to determine the correct delay unit time. A too long tail means the delay unit time is too long, while a too short tail means the delay unit time is too short. Shorter delay unit times are for smaller particles. To get new information about your sample, go to the test results section. The dispersion index, PI, or heterogeneity index, measures how dissimilar the sizes of particles in a sample are. If the PI is larger than 0.7, the size range is probably too broad for accurate use. The photon count is the number of photons detected during the sample time. Ideally, the photon count should be 40 when using the green laser and 10 when using the blue. If the photon count is too high, you can dilute the sample for a more accurate result. The D10 indicates that samples at that size and smaller make up 10% of the sample volume. The D50 is 50% and the D90 is 90%. Size is measured as if each particle were a sphere by diameter in nanometers. Nav, Lav, and Xav are three ways of measuring the average particle size. Nav is the average particle size by number of total particles. It highlights smaller particles. Xav is the average particle size by volume, i.e., the diameter at which 50% of the volume is made up by particles that size or smaller. Lav is the average particle size by amount of light scattered, or intensity, i.e., the diameter at which 50% of the light is scattered by particles that size or smaller. It highlights larger particles because larger particles scatter more light. V% or frequency percentage represents what percentage of total particle volume are between adjacent sizes. This forms the histogram, where the scale multiplies by 10 at regular intervals. Cumulation, or S%, uses the frequency percentage cumulatively, showing the percentage content of volume with that particle size and smaller, and is represented by the blue curve. I hope this helped you interpret the results of your particle sizer test. Please reach out to our team with any additional questions and follow this channel for more nanotechnology information.